heralded as this great defensive coordinator after the first handful of games, and that reputation stuck. And I know he's great at a podium, but his defense gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, this was, outside of the Patriots' 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl, this was the biggest comeback in playoff history? Having 25 points given up in the fourth quarter to erase a deficit of that size is nearly unheard of.
Not the biggest comeback, but maybe biggest fourth quarter.
It's the biggest
up there in terms of most.
Patriots
since.
It's the biggest since. Which is fun because guess who the quarterback coach of the Falcons was? Matt LaFleur.
NFL teams all time to score 25-plus points in the fourth quarter of overtime of a playoff game to overcome a 15-plus point deficit is the Patriots in the Super Bowl and the Bears last night.
Yeah, to score the 25 points.
And Matt LaFleur was on the losing side of both of those.
Yeah.
But you can't blame Matt LaFleur as the quarterback's coach. Let's not try to.
I just think it's a fun.
Yeah, I mean, let's try to maybe have empathy for him.
Empathy?
Yeah.
Why would we have empathy for him?
He's having a worse morning than you are today.
He's the head coach of the football team that allowed 25 points. He's the head coach of the football team and the play caller of the offense that looked amazing in the first half and couldn't do squat in the second half.
Right.
Why would I have empathy for him? This is not the first time we've seen this.
We
Craig.
saw the stat.
You saw it in Cleveland. You saw it in Dallas. You saw it in Denver. You saw it in Chicago 3 weeks ago. You saw it again yesterday.
And
why would I have empathy for him?
also saw 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, right? So for a team that has 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, who has 0 punts, who specializes in losing games where they don't punt, don't punt in the first half, but then they made up for it in the second half.
They have a real good punter.
They really made up for it in the second half with 3 and out, 3 and out, 5 and out. And in each of those drives, as you said, they did throw the ball 2 out of the 3 plays. They could not run the ball. Jacobs could not run the ball. And by the way,
2.9.
Packers got lucky in that game yesterday. The fumble by the offensive lineman.
Yep.
That play was awesome, by the way.
It was.
That was a crazy play.
The fumble by Jacobs on the kick return.
On the kickoff, yeah.
Both of those.
Timeout. Why do you have him back there in the first place? It was an identity crisis at returner all year.
Yeah, because the Packers don't believe in actually having special teams players on their roster. It's wild.
Yeah. But
I'm saying
Nixon does return kicks all year, and then you put him back there in the.
But both of those bounces went the Packers' way.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's not like, oh my God, everything's going against us. Both of those bounces went our way if you're the Packers, and it still couldn't stem the tide. Caleb Williams wasn't that good. Caleb Williams was exactly what we've seen him be. He was okay for 2.5 quarters.
I actually thought that he wasn't even very good.
No,
it was time for he was missing guys, and when he needed to hit them, he wasn't playing as well as we've seen Caleb Williams play.
And you guys know I love the QBR stat from ESPN because they look at every single play. His QBR was 36.9 overall, which means he played a below average game. Jordan Love's was an 80.4.
But Jordan Love looked good. He looked good.
But he couldn't get a first down in the third quarter.
Jordan Love's very good.
Yeah, all right. Well, in the third quarter, you had a couple of bad possessions.
There's a penalty on the third possession.
Penalty on that third possession that ended up driving him back. They still had no business giving up 25 points in the fourth quarter. That I actually thought when they scored the touchdown in the fourth quarter to go up 27-16, to me that was like, all right, this thing is done. They needed that touchdown, and all you need to do is hold the Bears once the rest of the game, and you win it. And they end up giving up a touchdown, missing the extra point, first of all, which I think made a bigger difference than people realize. Giving up a touchdown, missing a field goal, giving up another touchdown. And the thing about those touchdowns...
Wait. And just, I think you made a great point there. You just said missing the extra point was bigger. So, kicker cost you how many points last night?
7.
No.
7.
Wrong. At least 10.
Well, he missed 2 field goals and an extra point. That's
right. But if he makes the extra point, were they not in field goal range at the end of the game?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, they were. Right?
Good point.
So that's at least another 3 that the missed extra point costs you.
That's a good point.
So
good point by you.
Kicker costs you at least a minimum of 10 points. There's other things strategically that go different, momentum-wise, all that. Kicker costs you at least 10 points last night. That's part of why I have empathy for the coach. Like, that is not on him. I know maybe he picked the kicker. Like, no one's saying that's the wrong kicker.
He didn't pick the kicker. He had nothing to do with it.
It was all Bisaccia.
Right?
It was all your $2 million.
Right?
And
So
if you
I'm
go
saying
up 28-16, the Bears aren't going for 2, right? Like, in that next touchdown, they're kicking the extra point because going for 2 doesn't get them within 3 points.
There's another point. Kicker just cost you 11 points now.
I mean, it is interesting to see how the game plays out differently now. Again, if you're a gritty team, you kind of just get through some of those misses. But this team, it felt like one of those collapses where they just could not get out of it.
Oh, yeah, it was unavoidable.
But watching Matt LaFleur, his smile and his look in the last drive of the first half, when it was just so easy. They got the ball with 32 seconds left, I believe. And it was like, oh, are they going to kneel it out? And they threw that little screen that probably went down as a run play, right? That first play that was so easy, 16 yards, incomplete pass. Jordan Love scrambles for 11. I had him plus 11.5. He couldn't have found one more yard the rest of the game.
Sorry to hear that.
This is only carry of the entire game.
What a wild wager to make.
What?
No, I mean, it's smart, but it's just an interesting.
I had parlayed Caleb over 18 yards running with Jordan over 11 yards running. I know. Both quarterbacks.
I'm also curious, just for my own edification here. When did you decide because you obviously were in Wisconsin yesterday?
Yeah, it was on one of the legal prize picks, underdog, where you can.
That makes more sense. I just like the idea of you. I know you were in Las Vegas earlier last week. If you 4 days in advance making prop bets about the quarterback rushing statistics.
But the Packers get all the way to the Bears 36 with 11 seconds left. They end up, I thought they had one timeout left. By the way, Hafley, let's also talk about, if you're talking about giving up 25 points, are we going to talk about all the timeouts they burnt on defense that they could have used on offense?
Well, the timeout they used on offense led to a delay of game penalty right after. That led to moving the field goal back 5 yards and then missing the field goal.
Which again, if you're gonna criticize Jordan Love, if you're gonna criticize Jordan Love, I think that's your biggest, that's your single biggest knock on him, right? Is that you have a delay of game penalty coming off of a timeout, and I don't know what went on with the communication leading up to that. I don't either. That's one of those things.
But I would agree that's the biggest knock.
Kyle, are you able to talk yet? Or are you still dealing with things physically and emotionally over there?
Yeah. Give me a couple minutes here.
Okay. Yeah. Kyle's still processing. Yeah. Kyle will be joining us next segment, hopefully.
He's trying to get the cameras to work. I believe,
no, it's just empathy. It's like Matt LaFleur. We got to be empathetic to Kyle after the loss.
You're a better person than me, Craig. I don't know that we needed this 12 minutes to declare that.
No. You're more emotionally connected to the Packers. So, it's easier for me to be empathetic toward Matt LaFleur, who I think is a really good coach. Well, I continue to look at
Go ahead, Greg.
I continue to look at how guys come wide open and how good their system is and how when things are going well, how good they look. Mm-hmm. And I keep thinking, even John Harbaugh, is that going to be better?
I don't want Harbaugh.
Well, then I just don't know what arbitrary coach you're going to pull that you're going to feel so good about.
It's not my job.
Let's just get there. Let's get there. Do you want LaFleur out?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not my job to find out who's better. I mean, I'm not at policy, but
it's your job to talk about who
but you just fired him.
Better.
You fired him, so you're at policy when you're firing him. You're just not at policy when you're making the hire.
I view anybody. There needs to be a change of voice. There needs to be a change of leadership.
If you get rid of LaFleur,
I'm fine with Harbaugh. I just don't know that wins a Super Bowl. Too?
Because to me, a Harbaugh's not coming to coach under Gutekunst without having say.
Right? Well, but remember, the Packers don't. You're not coaching under Gutekunst in the Packers system.
But that's part of the major issue here. Is that can you blame Matt LaFleur that they haven't actually ever drafted or signed somebody on the special teams
I
to
agree
be
with you.
great in special teams. That's
right.
not Matt LaFleur.
This is correct. So there's two schools of thought, right? What you think will happen and what you want to happen. What I think will happen is Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst are both back next year. That's what I honestly think will happen. I have no doubt in my mind Matt LaFleur will be the head coach in 2025, despite watching 5 similar meltdowns this season.
So there's no owner of this team, right? So you don't have that one person, but you do have a really insulated place of Green Bay where these guys are. And you don't think losing to the Bears twice and losing to the Bears in the way that they did those 2 times isn't going to just echo everywhere these guys go in Green Bay? Like, I actually I mean, for the Packers, I actually worry that they overreact to this. That's I think is a bigger risk is that they overreact to this.
And overreacting would be firing
Matt LaFleur, which would be taking a step back. I truly believe they'd be taking a step back if they lost Matt LaFleur. I think what he and Jordan Love have is really special. I think when you have a quarterback who I believe is elite and can be as elite as Jordan Love could be, I think the last thing you want to do is break up a really, really good chemistry that, again, I see that he has with his head coach and play caller.
I can subscribe to that, but there needs to be accountability in some capacity, right? So is that firing your offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach, because that was a disaster all year, and you need fresh ideas in the room. So Stenovich and Butkus, you need to fire Bisaccia. Let's just get that experiment over and done with, regardless of what you do with Matt LaFleur.
And we're not.
And then the Goody conversation I'm willing to have, because the draft picks have been an abomination, right?
Horrible.
I was texting my cousin this morning. Let's just run through, Love aside, his first-round picks. Matthew Golden, who finally scored a touchdown yesterday. Jordan Morgan, who's been awful. Lucas Van Ness, who had a nice night but has not been good. Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, Darnell Savage, Jair Alexander.
Not awful. Not awful considering where in the first round they picked. That is actually solid. All of them.
No,
that's solid.
It's not solid.
Darnell Savage
Jair
stinks.
Alexander is the best quarterback in the NFL at his peak. That's the GM.
That was his best pick.
Yeah,
other than
Jordan Love is the only one that matters.
No, that's not
Quay
true.
Walker is a lot of people would want Quay Walker.
You don't have first-round picks for the next 2 years. So if those guys aren't contributing, that's bad.
But you have Micah Parsons, who is hurt.
No.
You guys were the ones saying the season was over when Mike was hurt and Kraft and Tucker Kraft were hurt, and still the coach put them in position to where they were up, should have been up 24-3 at the half.
And guess what? They lost that game.
I agree.
And that matters.
Yeah. I know, but with no Micah Parsons, no Tucker Kraft.
So you should be clipping at a championship rate next year. Then there's no excuses.
Is Zach Toms not a good player?
Zach Toms is their best offensive lineman.
Oh, okay. So they did their best offensive lineman, their best defensive player, their best receiver. Their best receiver is Tucker Kraft. No, I mean that's not. I mean the defense gave up 3 straight touchdowns.
Sure.
3 straight touchdowns.
But you're making excuses for them.
No, it's not about, for me, the defense, yes, but defense can only hang on for so long. It comes down to Matt LaFleur. He's supposed to be this offensive genius. There's no reason why the third quarter should have been as big as a disaster as possible. You got to the 40-yard line because the Bears had a messed up kickoff, and you had the ball at the 40-yard line. You couldn't do anything with it. That falls on Matt LaFleur, and that falls on the offense. Strofe made a really good point when it comes to who's getting fired. Bisaccia for sure gone. But then on top of that, you got to find, look, I don't know what Steno does, but at the end of the day, Matt LaFleur needs help. And it's clear as day when you come on the second half that we have seen this multiple times where this team has been stale out of the second half to start. It's because you need somebody else in there who is an up-and-coming, smart not even play calling mind, offensive mind that can look and evaluate and give Matt help. Matt clearly has no help. He has no assistance when it comes to adjustments or how to get this team going. There's no reason why this offense should have stalled out 3 times when they should have did some type of
4
quick
times.
pass.
I mean, because Kyle, you just brought up a really important series in the game. That was the fourth quarter where all of a sudden the Packers had held the Bears to a field goal. So at 21-9, it was like, all right, this is still a 2-possession game. Packers get the ball back at the 40 and don't gain negative 10 yards on that drive.
They do nothing with it. And again, that falls on Matt LaFleur. What makes me so upset, it's not about, Matthew Golden got the ball. Look what he did with the ball in his hand. No, it's the fact that hey, if you can't get anything going offensively, try to do something quick. You couldn't run the ball. They stopped the run in the second half. So what do? Quick passes, no sweep motions, no dive. You got to do something to stretch that defense out, and the Packers didn't do any of that. There was no creativity in the third quarter. They ended up going empty a little bit in the fourth quarter, but it was way too late, and that falls on Matt LaFleur not having somebody there where they can talk about it, be like, hey, we need to do this. And we have seen it over and over and over, and we've seen it multiple times throughout this season. That's why we have the end result like we do. But no, we shouldn't fire Matt.
Wow, that is, Kyle, that was really good and really rational and really, did you, meditate or something? Where did you get control of your emotions and all? Or is it because you thought the season was over already?
No.
So you were, you were.
Yeah, no, I'm upset. I'm upset. I had a lot of people in my house too yesterday, so
what was the story there?
This is actually scarier because he's so calm.
Yeah.
It's like when you're your dad is really mad and he's calm, it's way worse than when he yells.
I know, it's more
I actually think it's worse for him.
It's more it's worse for Matt LaFleur. It's like, Matt, I'm not mad at you.
No,
I'm just disappointed.
I think at the end of the day, the Packers had, and Craig, you made the excuse about injuries. I don't think it was an excuse. You were just mentioning all the different injuries. You were up 21-3 at halftime. Despite all the injuries, you put your team in a position where you should have won. You were up 18 points at halftime. You were up, 21-9 in the fourth quarter? There's no excuse for losing that game regardless of who you did not have. But for me, on the bright side, I ain't ready to be bright, but on the bright side, I'm not going to deviate from what I believe. That team wasn't winning the Super Bowl this year. So at the end of the day, this was a terrible loss. It's going to sting. It's going to hurt. But at the end of the day, this football team and Matt LaFleur still did enough for me to say next year should be our year. That is the make or break year. You can give him an extension all you want, but guess what? That means nothing. You can give him a 10-year extension. You can fire his ass right away. I don't care.
Strophy, right now you could have a draft. You could draft everyone on the Bears or everyone on the Packers for next season. Which team are you drafting?
Packers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, Greg, you agree with that?
I don't know. I think that the Packers roster gets overrated quite a bit. The reason why I would pick the Packers roster over the Bears is because of where Jordan Love is right now versus where Caleb Williams is.
Colston Loveland's a good tight end, but you take Tucker Kraft over him.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
You take Tucker Kraft.
No, I think they're equal now. Loveland didn't have a drop his entire rookie season.
He had one week 18. But other than that,
you're also talking about a guy who's
or maybe week
developed
17.
and a guy who is developing. And so,
I think Tucker Kraft is still developed. I think you saw him still developing.
But again, a rookie contract. We don't need a rookie contract.
Let's just say this. Colston played fantastic. Oh, can I ask a question? Who the hell is number 31? The Neiman?
Nick Neiman. He played his first defensive snap. That was his first defensive snap of the season.
I said 31. Who is this? Guy out here. I'm like, who is he?
He almost called him a brother, but then he realized he was a white guy.
He was. I said, who is
he's
this?
a special team specialist. It's the one special team specialist
he
they
got,
have.
He got activated off IR this week, and that was his first defensive snap of the entire season.
I said, who is this? I was 31. I said, is this some backup safety? No, it's a linebacker. But anyway,
I do think that I know you think Goody has done a decent job draft. I do think the roster makeup of the Packers consistently gets overrated because
why?
No,
who's great on the team?
Greg is absolutely right.
Who's great on the team?
It's not even about who's great on the team. It is about when guys go down, who's stepping up, and more importantly, special teams is a reflection of evaluation. You have to be able to find guys in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and undrafted free agents. The Packers, I think this was like the first year the Packers didn't have an undrafted free agent that they signed to the roster and that made the roster out of camp.
The defensive tackle, blanking on his name.
Nazir Stackhouse?
Yeah, that's the one.
He made out of camp, or did he?
He made it out of camp.
Okay, so
it's 21 straight years.
We don't need to talk about Nazir Stackhouse.
Sure,
y'all are sick.
But the thing is you need to find a way to get guys in the 6th, 7th round that can contribute. Got undrafted guys who can contribute in special teams, and that's something that we have seen them fail at. The fact that the defensive, Michael Parsons goes down, and they played a stat up there. I think the Packers had 3 sacks in the last 3 weeks of the season or 5 weeks of the season. That's unacceptable.
Special teams. Offensive line is not nearly what people think that it is.
Because you missed on Jordan Morgan.
It's been the worst year in a long time for
and
the
not
line.
what it should be, right? When you have a quarterback like they do. The defensive line isn't close to what it should be. The weapons, we could say, Tucker Kraft got hurt. They've had how many years since Aaron Rodgers left to develop the weapons for a quarterback in Jordan Love?
I don't know. Don't you think they're good enough?
Who?
Watson. Kraft, you mentioned.
So that's the bar.
Watson,
is good and
Reed.
Dobbs.
I'm saying
they're
okay. Those three. I'm saying if those
game.
three have clearly become the top three, and Jaden Reed missed most of the year, and
Dobbs will
Jaden
be
Reed
gone.
had a drop. I don't know if are we calling it a drop?
What?
Yeah, that's a drop.
That was a drop. What do
Yeah.
you mean we calling it a drop?
Yeah.
It hit his dang hand.
Yeah, I'm saying again. There's so many things that are right
average
there.
weapons, like, do you think that they're a top? Like when you look at the
Watson,
the wide
Dobbs,
receivers,
Reed don't have the brand name that some other receivers do, but don't you think on some levels they've sacrificed that because they are an unselfish group and they spread the ball around?
It's such a cute way of saying that
They're not
they
good
don't
enough,
have a really good weapon.
But I
Jordan
think they're
Love
open,
is
and
consistent.
Watson, I mean, maybe not consistently healthy when it comes to Watson. All right, we got a lot to talk about, obviously. Wildy's coming up soon. We will no more Nazir or Nick Neiman talk, I don't think.
Oh, no shot at Nick Neiman. It's just I was like, who is this?
He was born.
That was a shot.
He was born the same day as Good Karma Brands.
Well, that's
December 2nd, 1997.
Really?
Well,
The best part is, Craig had to look up who the hell is this guy.
And then he saw his birthday, and he's like, wow.
He was a sixth-round pick. We were talking about sixth-round picks, but it was
Out of the Packers.
out of Iowa. Had a sixth-round pick out of Iowa by the Chargers in 2021.
They put him in the game on a 2-point conversion. That was a huge point. I just didn't know who he was. I really didn't. I said, who is number? I said, what am I missing? I don't watch this team
who's this
all
white
year.
guy who's wearing number 31?
The only white safety I knew was the other kid. I didn't know who this was.
You wouldn't have been so mad if it was if his number was in the 50s. You wouldn't have been as mad.
Fine with it. You would have been fine with it.
Zane Anderson is the only white safety I knew. So
I know.
And Nick Neiman's a linebacker.
I know, that's what I'm
Nazir
saying.
Stackhouse, Nick Neiman, and Zane Anderson pop the day
I'm saying,
after the Packers
if Nick
season ends,
Neiman
like Kyle
had a
Wallace.
number in the 50s, you wouldn't have been mad. But you saw a white guy in the 30s, and you were like, what's going on?
I would have
like,
said,
that
why
number.
we got a linebacker covering, coasting, leveling their best receiving threat today?
Yeah. All right. McKinney spent some time on him and did a decent job.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else could stay near him. But actually, he wasn't even that open. He was doing like a Devontae Adams imitation half the time.
I will say it. Caleb made some really impressive accurate throws.
Yeah. I mean, those
he's
those
a
Loveland
roller
plays were like Devontae Adams type. Like, he wasn't that
All
open.
right,
the
let's go
balls
to
were
break.
thrown there.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd go that
You would
far.
take the Bears' weapons over the Packers' weapons between tight end and wide
Roma
receiver?
Dunze was non-existent.
For sure.
Yeah, probably.
For sure.
You're saying including running backs? All right, we'll
Dunze Moore.
Well, Moore's
Vernon-
a
if
continue.
Vernon was on the
It's Sunday Karma, ESPN, Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Looking up at the Marquette banners brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 44 was the first number retired in December of 1961. Don Coe just didn't have to wait long since his last game was earlier that year. Still Marquette's all-time leading rebounder, and it'll stay that way till the end of time. And he did it in only 3 seasons. A side note, Kogis was such a great leaper that Dr. J picked him as the second best dunker when they played in a pro exhibition. Yes, Dr. J picked himself first. Network Health knows that good health knows no age limit. That's why they offer superior local health plans for individuals of all generations. Whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or enjoying your golden years, plan is designed to meet your unique healthcare needs. For more about Network Health's business, individual, or Medicare Advantage plans, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com. safeplow.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Well, here we are. It is 2026. Remember last year when you said never again? Did it work? You didn't start your business to spend lots of time doing bank reconciliations, cash flow projections, or inventory analysis. Let us help you keep your New Year's resolution to stay on top of your finances and keep your books up to date. Don't do the same thing this year and expect different results. Start the year off on the right foot by calling the Neal Group to help you understand your numbers and make them better. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you can make 2026 the best year ever. The first meeting is free. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2 right here on 94.5 ESPN.
You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I won't let you forget me. I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you and I cannot.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
And on YouTube this morning.
A lot
looking
of
at the chat?
FGBs.
Oh, so it's like Bears fans to watch how miserable you are?
We've been invaded, yes.
Yeah,
As they should. They can. As they should.
Kyle, how do you feel about this one? JP DeBear says, "Hey Kyle, belt to ass."
Yeah. It was belt. It was BTA, as the kids say. It was BTA all first half. Oh yeah, one of these. So it was baby girl's family at my house yesterday, and a future family. And one of these little boys was there. He's a Vikings fan, but he was cheering for the Bears. So first and foremost, I was like, get this 12-year-old the hell out of my house. Yep. But all of a sudden we watching the game. He comes upstairs by me, and I'm like, bro, okay. And he was talking about BTA, and I'm like, okay. He's sitting by me, and I literally had to kick him out. I said, bro, listen, you got to go. You got to get away from me. I told a 12-year-old, you got to get away from me. I
That's
can't
how you know things
energy.
weren't going well. That a 12-year-old
we were
was
still up.
under Kyle's skin.
No. It's just the fact that I don't care for a 12-year-old's commentary. I'm a grown ass man. I don't need to hear a 12-year-old.
And it's in your own house.
In my own house.
Yeah, you can't be insulting your own house.
To keep it a buck, I mean, he ain't even family. You know what I'm saying? That's just that's somebody's boyfriend kid. That ain't even like future blood related. So I'm just like, bro, like, let's just chill. We got to chill. So it was a lot for me. That's probably why I'm so calm, because I didn't get a chance to, like, really process, because even after the game, people were still around my house like it was a damn zoo.
By the way, did you feel like Ben Johnson coached a bad first half?
Oh, it was awful.
He was coaching panicked in the first half.
That's what I thought,
There was also just some missed throws by Caleb, though.
Yeah.
And you could see him being
Caleb was not good in the first
upset.
half.
Like, you could feel the
that
Ben
one
Johnson
interception
frustration.
was Caleb, like, was Burden supposed to sit?
I think that was a classic Caleb pant, which he hasn't done this year.
You
but
think
we
he
saw
just
a lot last
threw
year.
it that he missed that bad?
I think
which ended up
he had
being like a
guy in
punt.
his
The
face.
Packers probably shouldn't have intercepted it, but I mean the Packers offense at that point was humming, so well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but you could see the frustration from Ben Johnson with Caleb in the first half there. They weren't sharp at all. and they turned it on. And the Packers felt like the Packers made it easy for them to score in the second half. And they scored quickly in the second half. That's the amazing thing is if you look at some of those drives in the fourth quarter, they were scoring touchdowns in 2 minutes or less.
But it wasn't like big plays.
Correct.
Like, it wasn't like
just moving the ball.
there wasn't like the 70-yard touchdown breakdown play. Oh, are you asking that at the poll?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wrong person's headset I was in.
Yeah,
poll, fellas.
No, I know, but if we ask the poll, do you want Matt LaFleur to be head coach? Right now, it's mostly Chicago Bears fans. So are you getting the answer from Bears fans?
If you're a Bears fan, would you want Matt LaFleur as the head coach?
They'd vote yes.
Yeah,
right?
Wait, can you?
Just because he lives in Ben Johnson's pocket at this point?
Wait, can we get more than one poll or just one poll?
One poll at a
Which
time.
would probably be more of an argument for his demise.
So let's first ask, if you're a Packers fan, do you want, okay, and then Bears fans, just chill, and then we'll ask,
you're a Bears fan.
Yeah, then we'll ask if you're a Bears fan.
I could do 4 answers where it says Packers fans,
Packers
fans,
you do that.
no, Bears fans,
yes.
Bears fans.
Yeah, do that.
Who do you want to be the... Yeah,
it's the first time you all unanimously said, yeah, I did a
great
good job.
Kyle.
Yeah.
2026 is my year.
Yes.
All right.
I'm worried about this new Kyle. He's like...
He's calm.
Yeah.
He's rational.
I was pretty
the
calm
cameras
this
out.
week.
He's producing well.
I know. He's the rational Kyle. I don't know. RK, I don't know if I like RK. I'm a little scared. Yeah. Yeah. Rational Kyle, man.
Will Rational Kyle exist at 2 p.m. tomorrow? That's my follow-up question.
I don't know.
I doubt
it. Depends how Bears fans get into his mentions, I think, over the next 24 hours.
Oh, dude, my Twitter. So bad. I got a tweet sent to me last night. It was a dude that didn't tag me. It was just a scream into the ether. It said, Alex Strofe sits when he pees to watch Brett Favre highlights. Somebody just screamed. And then I liked the tweet. The dude blocked me. I was like, that's a good chirp. Alex Strofe sits when he pees.
You liking it? I don't know. I guess that's being...
I respect good chirps.
How did you find it? Did you search your own name?
No, it was sent to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
good chirp.
The Bears
fans
now
are loud.
host another playoff game.
They do.
Bears host another playoff game, and if you're Ben Johnson this morning and you started your press conference talking about how excited you are to beat the Packers, I mean, this is as bad as Matt LaFleur feels. You've got to feel good if you're Ben Johnson. I mean, this is the culture that he wanted to create. This is the toughness, the grit, the never give up. Like, to see all that play out, to see your offense with Caleb Williams at the helm score 25 points in the fourth quarter, to see Matt LaFleur, take,
Well, speaking of Matt LaFleur, Jason Wilde had some things to say about Matt LaFleur. We'll see if we have rational Jason with us. RJW is going to join us now. Jason Wilde coming up. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke. Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair,
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair? For the Kesslers nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Sunday Karma, the morning after a loss. What song was that?
Oh, no, I just tried to find royalty-free music that was the saddest music I can find.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
The most depressing music I can find.
Yeah. We bring in Jason Wilde, and we share with him the data we have. 2 out of 3 Packers fans do not want Matt LaFleur as their head coach next season. And right now, 65% of Bears fans do want Matt LaFleur as the Packers head coach next season. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Bad. I'm doing bad,
Yeah,
Jason.
I was worried about you. You and Kyle, I was very
Kyle's actually being very rational and calm, and it's quite scary.
Yeah, it's actually worse to see him like this than if he was angry right now.
I lashed out at Craig
good,
about 3 minutes into the program, so it's yeah.
Jason, I thought about you in the fourth quarter last night because Jason has been saying since the run-up to the drafting of Caleb Williams that he hoped Caleb Williams was going to be good because there could be chapters of this rivalry unlike any we've seen in the first 100 years of it. And what we saw over the last 5 or 6 weeks culminated in a game unlike any in the history, because of the stakes being postseason, because I don't know that it was better than the previous game, which was a crazy game also. But the stories that we're told this season and that this sets up for, Jason, is exactly what you've been talking about since the run-up to the drafting of Caleb Williams.
Yeah, and obviously,
and I think you're better than Bud Lee. Just for the record, Jason yesterday said he didn't know if he was better than Bud Lee. I think you are.
Well, I appreciate that. Look, a couple things. I think we need to recognize our biases, right? And I will admit that one of mine is I'm never super comfortable with calling for coaches' jobs. It's just never been my thing. And I do think that if Matt LaFleur gets fired because of this, I think that there are multiple culprits, but as the old saying goes, you can't fire the whole team, you have to fire the coach. So I think that's part of kind of my thought process here. I also think, and I had a great conversation last night after kind of the group dispersed and we're all, everybody's kind of milling about the visitors' locker room in Chicago, the same place where I had stood and, been around a bunch of players that were excited to have won the NFC Championship game over the Bears and punched their ticket to the Super Bowl. The same place where I was after that 2013 game where Rodgers hits Cobb for the game-winning touchdown in the final minutes of the fourth quarter on fourth down for 48 yards. And it was, I was in my brain, I was contrasting those moments with last night. I mean, it was like a funeral in there, and rightfully so. But I had a conversation with Evan Williams, and I said, and he's great. He was one of our recipients of the Tom Mulhern Stand-Up Guy Award. I've got a really good relationship with him, and I really enjoy talking to him.
Wait, Jason, before you talk about Evan Williams, who I don't know who that is, Jordan Love, he was pretty stand-up after the game, and he played really well. And I think, again, how your leader looks during, those times of extreme, everything being at its worst. Jordan Love, besides taking that one penalty, I mean, Jordan Love was pretty stand-up also, right? And then you can go to Evan Williams.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I figured we were going to talk a little bit more about him coming up. And if you want to add one other thing, I mean, probably can't drop the snap on that play, right? I mean, of all the great things he did, and
you don't think that's a bad snap with a center who's coming into the game because of injury?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he was doing what we see wide receivers do all the time, right? Wide receivers run before they catch the ball, right? They get a little ahead of themselves. That play, Jordan, they got the coverage that he was going to throw a quick out to Romeo Doubs to pick up a couple of yards. And, in a crucial moment, he took his eye off the ball and didn't secure the ball. And then it becomes, as Matt LaFleur called it, chaos. So he was magnificent. And those two things, the one that you mentioned and the one that I've mentioned, don't change how great he was. He's only the third quarterback in NFL history to lose a playoff game in which he threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. And I agree with you that he was a stand-up guy, but he played great. There's no two ways about it. And to your point earlier, this is exactly what I had in mind, right? 2 historic franchises with 2 really good quarterbacks going back and forth and back and forth. And that's what we've got, it appears. And we'll see who's coaching one of those teams. Ben Johnson's a little more than I can handle. He's a lot, in my opinion. But it's exactly what I envisioned. Now,
and I thought the handshake was weak by Ben Johnson, right? Like, you've won.
Oh, that's
you don't.
I actually don't have a problem.
You have no problem with that? No problem with that? Okay. All right, keep going, Jason.
Yeah, they clearly don't like each other. Like, strongly dislike each other.
But where does it start, Jason? Is it more of Ben Johnson creating this?
Oh, it did. Of course it did. I don't think Matt LaFleur had any ill will toward him until the opening press conference. But again, Strofe is right. Like, it's consistent with what their relationship is. And again, that's another layer to this rivalry becoming something that it had not been for a very long time, right? I mean, the stories about Forrest Gregg and Mike Ditka almost coming to blows on the sideline at Milwaukee County Stadium while they were playing a preseason game, which By the way, how crazy is it that once upon a time you played preseason games against your division rivals? This isn't quite that, but you got Ben Johnson yelling "F the Packers, F them" as his opening salvo in his locker room celebration. I mean, it's on. Like I told you, Strofe, I got a text from Sylvie, our teammate Mark Silverman at ESPN Chicago of Waddle and Sylvie, that said the rivalry is back. You got what you wanted after they beat them on December 20th. So I just quickly. So Evan Williams is the Packers' other starting safety alongside Xavier McKinney. He's a really thoughtful guy, super mature guy who came in, played a year at Oregon, and played at Fresno State before that. But I really enjoyed talking to him because he's really intelligent. His brother played in the NFL too. And I said, look, it feels to me, and please tell me if I'm off base on this, that there's an immaturity to you guys, that you guys just don't know how to handle both success, like building a 21-3 lead, and adversity when things start to go south. I mean, they blew how many leads this year? So 4, 5?
I have 5
this season.
Yeah, counting the Dallas game, which ended in a tie. But I have at Cleveland, at Denver, at Chicago, at Chicago.
Yeah, and so my point was, is that a reflection of the head coach? Is that a reflection of, they're not young and inexperienced, they're just still young, but is that an immaturity? And I said, please tell me if I'm wrong. And his answer was, no, you hit the nail on the head. There is an immaturity about us. We don't stay even keeled. We ride the roller coaster way too much. And now the follow-up question, which I didn't ask him because he had already addressed his feelings about LaFleur, is that a reflection of the head coach? Is Matt not able, because that's part of your job, right? To keep the guys even keeled when things go great and to get them back up when things are going crummy and you're starting to lose control of the game. And I don't know if that should fall solely on the head coach, because this is how they have chosen to build their team. And
Jason, I think it falls on the head coach, but that doesn't mean firing him is the only answer, right? I thought Kyle brought up an interesting point around putting more offensive help around him to help him adjust throughout the game, which obviously the Bears adjust defensively. From YouTube, the question was asked, why couldn't the Packers run the ball for more than 1 yard in the second half? Like, Jason, what was going on with the running game?
I think their offensive line had a terrible night. Now, again, I haven't gone back and looked, and I haven't gotten the official word from our offensive line preeminent expert, Brian Bulaga, but I thought they were terrible. Like, they couldn't run the ball, and the second half, they could not pick up blitzes. They could not protect the quarterback, right? I mean, Jordan was under siege the entire second half, basically. So, again, does that fall on Matt LaFleur as the offensive play caller to figure out, along with his staff, a way to handle all that pressure that because the Bears were like, we got nothing to lose, let's go. And it worked. It does. It falls under his purview for sure. But the run game, you heard me before this game. They finally got the real Josh Jacobs, please stand up, right? 2 months of dealing with his knee injury. He felt great. I mean, they put him on kickoff returns. They felt so good about where he was at. And yet the running game went nowhere. So, again, I don't have a great explanation other than their offensive line. They missed Zach Tom, but, again, everyone's missing players. So it was just a cavalcade of things that went awry, and that was one of them, that they want to be able to run the ball to set up the pass. And to whoever said that in the YouTube comments, you're exactly right. They couldn't do it. Period. Paragraph. Fin.
And the Bears, by the way, had an important injury on the defense during the game. And the Bears had a defensive back that clearly couldn't cover anyone on the field. Like, the Bears had a lot of stuff working against them. Mm-hmm. And Caleb's 4th and 8, all that. But let's stay on the Packers, Jason. So where are you right now on Matt LaFleur? Should he be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers next year?
Yeah, keeping in mind my bias against firing people, I think that they need fresh ideas. They need an infusion of outside of this, not necessarily outside of their system, right? Because the offensive system is prevalent throughout the league, variations of it. But they need some new ideas. And so I think they need some staff changes. I think that this is a team that, and I'm going to get the San Francisco 49ers thrown back at me, and people are going to forget that Kyle Shanahan last year had a ton of injuries, and he wasn't able to do what they have done this year. It's amazing to me how these tiny little moments can turn into a whole regime change, which I'm at the point, and I said this to Homer last night, I will be surprised if they don't fire him. But I don't know enough about Ed Policy's thought process to say that they will. It feels likely, but that could be just all the noise and cacophony that comes with losing the way they did. But I'm still not convinced that John Harbaugh's success, for example, I saw Adam Schefter tweeting this out this morning. I'm not convinced that John Harbaugh is going to be, the guy that leads them to the promised land, because he did it with the Ravens back in 2012, for example, right? Like you guys know the affinity I have for Mike McCarthy.
I was just about to say, bring him back if that's what you need. If you need a Super Bowl winning coach, might as well bring back Big Mike.
Right. He's local.
By the way,
I don't.
That's an unfair comparison. Like Harbaugh has had much more consistent success.
Harbaugh's not a play caller on any side of the ball.
Well, but he's a CEO. Like if you were going to bring in, and I'm not advocating for Harbaugh,
and I think the point is, and Kyle's point is that maybe you don't like that the coach having to be the play caller and doing everything, But also, I thought the game broadcast last night, they did not get the kicker narrative. They were not talking about the kicker narrative. And Jason, by our count, it was at least 11 points that McManus cost the Packers yesterday, right? I mean, it was 2 missed field goals, a missed extra point, a 2-point conversion that the Bears went for because they had missed it. And at the end of the game, they couldn't kick a field goal because they were down 4 because of the missed extra point. So maybe it's 10, maybe it's 11.
I like how you added those points in. No,
yes.
I mean, I thought he obviously directly cost them 7. And again, the whole idea of having him is so you don't have the Anders Carlson effect, right? But remember, he missed a field goal in last year's playoff game too.
Sure did.
Like as perfect as he had been up until that point, he missed one there. So now you're talking about a guy that's missed in the last 2 playoff games 4 kicks, and you extended him last year. You said, well, that was a blip that he missed the kick against the Eagles, but now and I know it was windy, but their guy kicked the ball through all the time, right?
I mean, Santos. I mean, he can barely reach from 50 compared to everyone else in the NFL, and he made an important long one at the time.
Make it look easy. I was looking up kickers today. I was
guy
Googling kickers.
Again, I'm scared.
That's what we're doing day one of the offseason? Is Googling kickers?
Brandon McMahon is, at the end of the day, he makes the field goal at the end of the half, or he even makes the extra point. It's a different game.
I agree, Jason. Did it feel different when he missed that field goal? Because so many of us watching and so many of us were like, when that field goal missed in the half, it just felt like it opened the door for some reason. Did it feel that way at the time for those of you at the game?
I thought the Bears are going to take that and say, all right, we're in it. And remember, he made it initially when they called the timeout, which, again, great job by Ben Johnson. He waited to the last possible millisecond to get his timeout. And so he makes it, and then he misses it. Look, there are a lot of things that went wrong, and we should be criticizing everyone involved. That's our job. To go back to the original question before we got sidetracked to the kicker, I do want there to be at least a conversation. Doesn't mean that Matt LaFleur should still be the head coach. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think, in my opinion, and based on that conversation with Evan Williams and some other things that other people said, I think there is a flaw in the perpetually young roster concept. And that is that much like we would criticize Ted Thompson, what's the old saying? Everything in moderation, including moderation. Like, it wouldn't kill you to utilize on your 53-man roster, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 guys maximum. Doesn't have to be any more than that. Doesn't have to be my kind of team with all veterans. Because veterans get hurt and their bodies break down and all the other stuff that they are trying to avoid by being young. But who are the guys that they can turn to when things are going to hell in a handbasket, and they can say, look, I've been here before. We're fine. All right? Everybody take a breath. Let's go next play. Those types of things. You know, they had a guy like Mercedes Lewis on this team not that long ago. Obviously, Rodgers could be that. Like, I don't know. I thought Love was a downright stand-up guy. I agree with you, Craig. But when you look at his personality, do you view him as a guy that can be that? Does he carry that same heft? I don't know. Maybe he does.
Yeah, I just don't know if one guy in an NFL, there's 50, that's a lot of players and units.
Exactly.
And Jason, it's what Brian Bulaga was saying to you guys when he talked about Tom's being out before the game. He was saying in a playoff game, each play matters more because, you know, if you're not experienced and you have a bad play, it leads to more bad plays. If you are experienced, you can kind of stop it in the moment. And I think that is a great point by Jason, right? Like, we talk about in the NBA probably more where, like, you need those pros on the team to just teach people to be pros. Maybe that's what shows up in the postseason, that it's not about LaFleur getting tight in those moments. Maybe it's about not enough, you know, professionals who've been there around this team to be able to handle the adversity when it happens.
Devontae Adams could have helped.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that Goody's a terrible GM. I'm saying that I believe that this is a flaw in and I want to be clear, in an otherwise smart approach. And that pains me to say that because I like guys that I've had long-time connections with and know, you know, are very good with me for my job and are experienced, so they have all these kinds of things to draw on. But who are those guys? Like Xavier McKinney? Xavier McKinney is still a very young player himself, right? He's only 25, 26. I guess Josh Jacobs, but I would also say this about Josh Jacobs. He has now played in 3 career playoff games. And 2 of them were one and dones with the Packers, and one was at some point in his Raiders career. Like, their offensive line, for example. Like, who is the guy that would have been like Sitton or Lang or Bakhtiari that would have said, hey, we got to get our blank together here, and B, all right, look, settle down. We've been here before. We've got this. And those types of players, in my opinion, are really valuable. And I'm not saying you need a roster full of them, but maybe those kind of guys come in handy when the stakes are the highest. Hey, you can go on in the regular season and win games. Yeah, there's going to be adversity in those too, but you know you get another one next week if you don't pull it off. When you're going to be the tightest is when you know, oh my God, if we fail, season's over. And they've got a lot of young talent. There's no doubt about it. They've got a lot of good football players. But my gut tells me that there is an immaturity about this team. And the fact that Evan Williams confirmed that for me, that is something that goes a long way. And I do think that hamstrings your head coach a little bit because, like Craig just said, you can't only have 1 or 2 players that are trying to help the coach keep the ship afloat when the waves are crashing down on it and you're about to be, in really big trouble.
Well, I agree. I just want to point out the Packers' oldest player cost them 11 points last night.
Well, I mean, he's a kicker. I don't think anybody's looking at a kicker.
I agree with everything Jason said. I'm just pointing that out. Their most experienced player.
You're right.
Cost them 11 points.
It's also interesting, Jason, you mentioned Jordan Love, because you look back to Rodgers early in his career, and he was sort of surrounded by those culture creators, those older veterans. And so when he became what he became as a leader, you could probably go back and map whether it was, Donald Driver, some of those older wide receivers, obviously Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
You talk about that, and he became what he became as a leader, probably in large part because he saw how they did it.
Interestingly, by the way, they brought up on the game that the Packers were flying around so much early, and that the Bears were really trying to do a lot of misdirection and things to slow the Packers down. That the defense and how smart that was. In the second half, the Bears were that, right? They were really flying around. We didn't see, right? We saw the Jaden Reed in the first play of the game, maybe. We didn't see any of those misdirection or any of those. I mean, Jason, is there a lack of adjustments that, it's hard to not say yes, right? When you come out of the second half and have four punts, right? Is that the biggest problem, that this system is a great system, but it's not adjusting on the fly, and that's when you look at these blown leads? That's the issue here?
I have no doubt that that's part of it. And if I am ed policy and I'm evaluating Matt LaFleur, that is one of the hard questions I'm asking, is do we do a good enough job of adjusting? And frankly, for this, in this game, more so than the last one, because the last one, the defense, fell apart in the last 2 minutes of regulation and then got beaten overtime. But when things were going south defensively, they didn't have a lot of answers either. And everybody loves Jeff Hafley, myself included, right? Banging the podium saying, we're not going to be done. I'll see you guys next week. Oops. But as great as we think he is, he didn't have a lot of answers defensively either. But to your point, I was actually talking about this with somebody as I was leaving the stadium this morning at 1:30. I just don't think that Matt LaFleur has shown consistently that. And look, halftime adjustments are a fallacy. You have 12 minutes in halftime. It takes a few minutes to get to the locker room and back. Rodgers used to talk about this way back when we would do the radio show. They barely have any time to get anything done. The assistant coaches and the head coach briefly huddle together and talk a little bit about what they're thinking and what they need to adjust to. But there's not some sort of grandiose, guy on a whiteboard drawing up new plays or new ideas that they need to run in the second half. The adjustments have to be from series to series. And when you have a 4-series run like they had, where they gained a total of 19 yards and punted 4 times. I used Micah Parsons' tweet as my kind of jumping off point for one of my stories. He tweeted from a luxury box high above the field, hey, let's finish this, right? This is not a team. They are a comeback team or something to that effect. And they didn't heed his advice. The offense didn't get it done. The defense slowly let them back in it. And now we are where we are this morning with Matt LaFleur scheduled to talk to us at 4 o'clock.
Wow. I don't think Matt LaFleur gets fired, and I also don't think he is back next year.
He runs away.
A parting of the ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay is such an insulated place. I think losing to the Bears in the way they do, I think it's going to be really loud. I think the team's going to be talking. I think whatever the offers of extension or non-extension, I don't think it'll be firing him, but I think it'll be one of those where his agent knows he has better offers. And by the way, I think
he'll be the next head coach of the Dolphins.
I think Matt LaFleur will not be the head coach next year, and I think it will be a mistake.
So if that happens, Jason, right, and LaFleur's not back, is Ed Policy going to hand the keys of the franchise to Brian Gutekunst to make the decision, or is this hey, if LaFleur's out, is Goody potentially going to be looked at in order to bring in a coach who ultimately wants to also be able to pick their general manager?
Yeah, so that is an awesome question, Greg. I just want to say one thing based on what Craig just said was the smartest thing I've heard in terms of describing what the end game is for a coaching change, and especially the last sentence, that I think it would be a mistake. I want to ask a follow-up to Craig after I answer your question. I think if you are going to change the structure back to the way it was under Bob Harlan, and with Ron Wolf, and then with Ted Thompson, with that brief kind of mistake that Bob has admitted was a huge mistake when Mike Sherman held both roles. I think you have to do it when you change coaches. Because I was there in 2005, and Tausch will tell you how uncomfortable it was in the building when they stripped Sherman of his GM role and just left him as the coach. Bob has always said since then, I just should have, much as I liked Mike, I should have just let him go and let Ted run the whole thing and hire his coach. I think that the question I have, and again, none of us know, we had the one sit down with Ed where they, brought in food and we all sat around this gigantic table and asked him questions in the alumni suite above Lambeau Field, and it was all nice. And boy, this Ed, he's so much more polished than the last guy who was the team president and everything else. But that's the one, other than, cursory run-ins with him, I have no idea what he's thinking. And the question I would have is, if you're Ed Policy and you have ascended to the presidency, how humble do you have to be to have the power that Mark Murphy created by making it the head coach and the general manager are on the same organizational flowchart line and they both report to the president, and to say, you know what, even though that gives me more power on deciding who the GM and who the coach are, I'm going to give it back to the general manager. I'd be fascinated by that leadership decision, right? Because a lot of people would not want to give up the power to make those decisions. Mark Murphy certainly reveled in it, right? And so it's a great question. I have said this before. I will say it again. I do not think Goody should be fired, but I don't think that he faces enough scrutiny for some of his misses and his philosophy and roster building. I think he makes it tougher on whoever his coach is. I would be fascinated, by the way, if John Harbaugh is the guy, how he is going to view, like, what his relationship was with Eric DaCosta, who's their GM in Baltimore. Like, I will be fascinated if that somehow plays out, how that works with Goody, because what's one thing that Baltimore did during his tenure? They had some veteran players that were crucial pieces of what they did. So will there have to be an adjustment in the Goody approach to roster building? All these things we don't know at this point. But, Craig, I want to circle back with what you said. So, obviously you founded and lead our company, and you have to make decisions about people that are in leadership positions all the time, whether it's promoting people or moving people around or moving on from people. When you look at Matt LaFleur, if he was in Good Karma Brands instead of the Green Bay Packers, and I don't know what the equivalencies are with, sales numbers and whatever else, but how would you handle the situation? Because I do think he has a lot of redeeming qualities that you want him on your team, but I also see the flaws, and I thought the way you described that was so interesting. So how would you handle this if Ed Policy called and said, hey, we want you guys to be the flagship again, and oh, by the way, what do you think I should do here with LaFleur?
Extend Matt LaFleur, put a little bit better support around him, build the roster to fit what you need, and recognize that, like, Dobbs recovering an onside kick, like Caleb Williams making an insane pass on 4th and 8, like these things on the margins are so arbitrary. Kevin Durant's foot on the line, right? Let's all be honest about it, right? Like, these things that change wins and losses and change legacies are so small that to make what I would view as a panicked move to pacify a fan base, to me, would not make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm Team Craig on that. I don't think that it's hard for me to imagine that happening, given the, as you mentioned, the noise and everything else. I will say this: if Ed Policy does that, and then Ed Policy says when he talks to us about his decision to extend Matt LaFleur and why he did it, if he says what you said there, it is not going to quell a lot of angry Packers fans, but I believe it will be the right thing to say.
Yeah, and again, I say, because Coach Bud, I think a lot of people believe, would have been fired had the Bucs don't get out of the second round against the Nets, right? And so And instead the Bucks win a championship. So I think we can all recognize that there's luck, there's arbitrary stuff that goes into all of this. And when you're organization building, you want to have deeper answers than that. So, Jason, thanks for staying for a long time with us. We appreciate it. We know this is just the beginning of the story. And by the way, congrats to Greg Gard. What a great win.
That was an awesome one.
For the Wisconsin Badgers yesterday against Michigan. Thanks so much, Jason. And thanks so much for Gruber Law Offices. David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices is here local. David Gruber is the one who actually reminded me that the Packers ran Jaden Reed on a misdirection on the first play when he texted me at the beginning of the segment. That's what Gruber Law Offices is. They are here and in this community and living and dying with the same things that you're living and dying with. And that's what they've done for almost 40 years now. They have built a business in this community where they only make money when you win. They are locally and family owned. They are nationally recognized. If you or a loved one is ever injured, you want someone who's in it right there with you. And absolutely, I can tell you that is 100% Gruber Law Offices. So remember, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. More of this discussion as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 31, Bo Ellis, and number 31, Doc Rivers, both retired. How can that be? Ellis, part of the 77 National Championship team, had number 31 retired, but not until 92. So Doc Rivers got to wear number 31 when he was an All-American in the 80s. He got 31 retired in 2004. It's all good. Doc Rivers, Bo Ellis, certainly two of the greatest in Marquette history, and the two greatest, number 31. For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Fluellen, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Ben Brust here for Iron Jock. It's a new year, and that means new goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to those goals. Whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026, Iron Jock gear has you covered. Formulated to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, Iron Jock keeps you feeling fresh, no matter how hard you push. Right now, you can get 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use promo code ESPN30. That's ESPN30 for 30% off your orders over $75. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
The results speak for themselves, and either you're going to jump on board or you're going to find out why they are who they are.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Sunday Karma continues. Packers fall to the Bears. Second time, and both times at Soldier Field. Both times games that the Packers had seemingly well in hand throughout the game. Matt LaFleur, biggest topic of conversation today. And we looked at the Carveless Talking text line. Lists is more, 800-990-3776. We've been hanging out in the YouTube chat, but make sure you share your thoughts. We'll hit those next segment. So if you do want your thoughts heard by the 2/3, 67% of people watching on YouTube right now are Packers fans, which to me speaks to the loyalty the day after a loss, because it's hard. Like, we know Packers fans for the last 30 years. We hear them have enjoyed listening to ESPN Chicago the day after or when the game ends. Big Cat from Barstool just texted us his car play.
I got cussed out last night. I answered the phone, and I just hear vulgar language coming from Cap. I got kids around me. I said,
Cap called you?
I said, hello? He said, is this Kyle Wallace? I said, yeah.
Wait, you're talking about David Kaplan from Chicago, the morning host.
You don't bleeping, doubt, bleeping, Caleb Williams, the bleep.
Wait, that was after the game?
He called you on your phone?
He called me on my cell phone.
Wait, Cap?
I promise you, yes. I saw a 224 number. I said, this might be Cap. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That is so unhinged.
Well, that's Cap for you.
When I say unhinged, like, I'm a Packers fan. But I'm like, bro, like, this is the first time we ever talked on the phone. And, like, you know,
when you have your phone number.
Yeah, like, it was like, you can, like, obviously the kids couldn't hear it, but, like, he was yelling into the phone. I said, I got kids by me, Cap. It was like, I said, well, you have a good night, man. Congrats. He said, you too. I think he realized I wasn't going to reciprocate the energy maybe Ben Brust would bring.
Yeah, he probably called Ben right after that.
100% did.
Yeah, oh, my God. But, I mean, so this is, and the thing that struck me last night was this was the first time ever that the Cubs and Brewers played in the postseason. And then right after that, we get the third time in 100 years. Like,
so we're due for Bucks Bulls, right?
I mean, play-in game.
Could be, yeah.
7-10, Bucks in the 7, Bulls in the 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels...
That'd be the Wisconsin-Illinois
no, but 7-10 wouldn't play each other, right? So the Bulls would then have to...
No,
because I think
7-8, right?
Right. I'm saying, well, no. Well, first...
It's 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10, and then the loser of the 7-8 plays the winner of the 9-10.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So maybe some Sarah. And I like how I'm boosted. The Bucks are at 11. I already have them as the 7. Do you see how I did that?
I also don't think thereuld be as much juice on a Bucks Bulls.
Oh, playing game? You don't think,
come on.
You don't think
that?
You don't think Game 5, winner go home, National League Division Series, then NFL postseason game, winner go home, would compare to like 7-8 loser versus 9-10 winner. Winner go home.
You would get a lot of run out of that Giannis tackling Dunleavy clip, you know.
And Giannis dunking at the end, and Vujicic,
windmill,
who with LaMelo Ball and Giannis is now the late game dunk police. All right, well, more as we continue. Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Oh, it's time for me to talk about Precision Sports, which is it's unbelievable. Precision Sports has built the basketball court in my house. If you love basketball, everyone knows you want a hoop at your house, and this team is amazing. So, they've done it for me twice now. They've built courts for me. They do it all. They worked on the actual hoop itself and figured that out. They figured out the pads and things that need to go around. They figured out the lines because I was like, I want an NBA corner 3, like an authentic one on my court, but I also want like a high school line, like high school college-y 3-pointer line. Like it's when you work with someone who knows what they're doing, it is unbelievable. So happy to have them as a partner here at ESPN Wisconsin. And Precision Sports is excellent. Communication was amazing. The product is awesome. You want it to go up and down. Whatever you want, they will set it up for you. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. If you love basketball, if you have ever thought about a court at your house, they'll do indoor courts. They'll do outdoor courts. They'll do whatever it takes. You're doing something at your house. You want to work with a professional. These guys are incredible. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for Precision Sports.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle, Breast, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
The shot clock's winding down, and Saturn Lounge scores at the buzzer. When your marketing needs a slam dunk, our team drives the lane with creative strategy, branding, websites, video storytelling, and marketing campaigns that win. We run the full court press in every engagement, pushing the pace, finding that open shot, and delivering the highlight reel results. Our Saturn Lounge team ensures that your marketing content and campaigns dominate like a champion. Don't settle for a turnover or a missed shot or a wasted possession. Let Saturn Lounge run your marketing game plan now. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. But you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Toscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Hey, this is Tanas Antetokounmpo. Download the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Sunday Karma continues. Packers lose to the Bears. Conversation continues. Talking text line continues. I don't have it up. Who's got it up?
I do.
All right, what do we got?
Oh, we've got David from Rockwood, Ontario, Canada. No one is talking about after the Ravens game, the narrative was gap integrity. I don't think they solved it. Keep Matt only if a major coaching overhaul, including Halfley, lets your group add experience and move Jenkins back to guard.
Oh, how about Stacy, who says, morning, only a fool, whether a fan, analyst, etc., would think Matt LaFleur should be back as head coach. He's run his course as Rodgers and Favre did, fired Monday and move on.
And on the private talking text line from Tori Lowe of 101.7 The Truth.
He's okay.
Tori Lowe Fridays on KBN. I said, hey, Tori, Craig Scalzo and I are talking. How you doing after that loss? One-word response. Horrible.
Oh, God.
Todd says it's very simple. If Matt LaFleur's performance over the past 4 years is acceptable, then extend him. Extend Bisaccia and run it back, realizing that you will scrape into the playoffs as a 7th seed and lose a playoff game on the road. If that works for policy, it will temper our expectation as fans. Stop the nonsense about playing for the Super Bowl. And that's not what they're structured for. If policy wants to put his mark on this team, Matt LaFleur is let go tomorrow. We'll see.
That's a horrible reason to let Matt LaFleur go, is because Ed Policy wants to make his mark on the team. And I like LaFleur. I have a very high opinion of LaFleur. The fact that he's been able to get out of Jordan Love what he has gotten out of Jordan Love.
Sure.
But what I would challenge you on as far as like bringing him back is usually a head coach, right, finds most success within their first 5 or so years, like being with the franchise.
No.
For context, Holmgren and McCarthy both won the Super Bowl in their 5th year.
Right. But
usually
when you say usually, it's because people get fired if they don't.
That's true, too.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's true, too.
But, you've got your, Marv Lewis's of the world and some others.
Marv Lewis,
Harbaugh's another good example, right? He had his most success in his first 5 or so years.
And then he's Tomlin.
But when it comes to LaFleur, like, how do you have confidence that he's going to continue to get better as a head coach? Because his performance hasn't been at a championship level. Or if you think it is, then you're saying you need to get rid of Gutekunst because the players on the roster aren't good enough. There has to be one or the other.
I think, listen, we're going to overreact as we should to yesterday's game result because it's inexcusable the way that they lost the game. But I'm still going to go back, because I am an optimist, I'm still going to go back to the first half against Denver where this Packers team was absolutely rolling. Now, we haven't won basically since we lost in Denver. But at that point, we weren't having these conversations about, we need to move on from Matt LaFleur and all that. The conversation was, is this a Super Bowl team? So I'm going to believe...
they've lost 5 in a row
I understand.
End the season.
I think
with no Tucker Kraft, no Micah Parsons,
Devontae White,
Zach Toms.
No Devontae White.
What's Kyle Shanahan doing in San Francisco right now?
No, I don't know if he'll get out of the first round. Will he get out of the first round?
I don't disagree, but
he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
But and I think that's very true. And I think
twice.
But I think the key thing that we have to understand is that now when we look at this roster, we saw that there is a depth issue. That is something that you can try to solve in this offseason. The Packers as a whole, if healthy, were a team that was, in the way the NFC looked, legitimate threat. We were down a lot of guys, and we went to the number 2 seed, and we should have won that game. So I don't think now is the time to break up the band. Next year will determine the direction of this organization because it should be Super Bowl or bust next year based off who you bring back and what they have displayed this year. But I don't think we should go as far as saying that, look at Matt LaFleur and what they did these last 5 games. There are listen, they should have performed better, but they didn't. But I still know what their potential is because I saw it the first half of Denver.
I just don't think you can continue to stay the course on everything we're talking about here. And sure, get rid of Bisaccia, replace some of the... It's not going to make that much of a difference if you have a new special teams coach and a new kicker if you don't have the organizational alignment of special teams being important. And they don't. They clearly, through their actions since Goody's been there,
I should change this offseason.
They do not care about special teams. They don't invest in it.
You're right. I don't disagree with that at all. But I would say this. So my gut still tells me, and we'll see if I'm wrong on this, but my gut still tells me I believe that LaFleur will be back. I think naturally you need to make a change, whatever, on special teams. You need to make a change at offensive coordinator. You need new ideas in the room if Matt LaFleur is going to continue to be the play caller, which he needs to continue to be the play caller because that's his appeal as a head coach, right? Like if he gives up play calling, to me, that's signaling the white flag. Defensively, I think you're going to have a gap to fill. I think Halfley's going to get a job.
I don't know who's hiring Halfley. Like, what am I missing other than he's good at a podium? He was a bad college head coach at Boston College.
Yeah,
he became
a good coordinator here until they got decimated with injuries.
Boston College.
Wait. But I think the point is, if he's not going somewhere with Micah Parsons, then
Hey,
what
guys,
does that
I hope
say?
you're right. I would love to have Halfley back.
You would? So why is everyone so excited to have Halfley back if he just gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter, but everyone wants Matt LaFleur gone?
He had a lot of scrubs that he was trying to get to hold on yesterday. I think he.
Then why does everybody think Goody's so good if they've got a bunch of scrubs?
And why is Matt LaFleur so bad if he's the head coach?
I've never once made the argument
Kyle,
that Goody's good.
And Kyle, I think Kyle's very rational today.
Rational,
you know who's also
RK.
RK is in the house. You know who else is rational? The team at Gruber Law Offices. Because it's one call, that's all. It is one call. And all of a sudden, it's not like it's over. It's not like something happens instantly because it's a process. But their team is going to work with you. They've been through it tens of thousands of times for the people of Wisconsin. And they're going to make sure that you can focus on the things that matter in that moment. It's your health. It's might be getting your vehicle fixed, and they can help walk you through it because they're experienced. So if you or a loved one's ever injured, remember there's a reason that they're able to be this involved in everything in the community. It's because they've helped so many people. It's one call, that's all. With Gruber Law Offices. More Packers Bears as we continue. Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Dwayne Wade's number 3 retired in 2007, 4 years after he played. Number 24 retired George Thompson said it before every Wade game. I wonder what he's going to do today. D-Wade, Micro-Wade, Tidal Wade, never disappointed, which is why Thompson said to him after Wade's triple-double against Kentucky took Marquette to the Final Four, Dwayne, you're the best to ever play at Marquette for what you've done and what you will do. Number 3 will never be worn again. For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiac Jr. John Saganiac Jr., Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top-quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but the way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Continuing on Sunday Karma, Carvel's Talking text line, great stuff coming in. How about this one from John? He says the Packers fire Matt LaFleur. He will be the new head coach of the Raiders with Mendoza.
Oh, he'll go to Miami.
No, I see Harbaugh in Miami. You don't think?
I think Harbaugh will be in Green Bay if they fire LaFleur.
I think Harbaugh goes to New York. Giants.
I think Kevin Harlan's brother is.
What do you mean you think? You heard it.
Well, is it Kevin Harlan's brother or
no?
cousin?
His son. I thought it was his son.
Well, it's It's Bob Harlan's son, Kevin Harlan's brother.
Yes, exactly. It's Bob Harlan's son.
There it is.
Yeah.
Jason in the 920 says Kyle keeps saying we should have won that game. The last two Bears games, you lost. The Bears are a better team. Period. From Jason in the 920.
So he said, Kyle said we should have won. You lost. Oh, he's not a Bears fan. Got it. I mean, he's not a Packers fan.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Packers should have won that game. I don't give a damn what people say. The Packers should have won yesterday. It's inexcusable what happened.
When you say should have, I think what you could look at, if you're trying to not be biased, if you look at the 3 games the Packers played the Bears, and if you look at the percentage probability throughout the entire game of who was going to win the game, and then the Packers for 90% of those 3 games.
Craig, I don't need probability.
No, but I'm saying, but if a Bears fan's like, well, we won 2 out of 3, you can't say that. And you can't say that, but I think, Kyle, your argument would be like, if you look at the probabilities throughout these games, the Packers should have won all 3 games.
No, I mean, the last one, Hans team, and this one was simply just the Packers didn't execute in the end, and the Bears earned that one. They earned the victory. They snatched it, and they well deserved that victory.
The Packers were over 90% for most of the game. It got up to 95% when it was an 11-point game with about 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Kyler Gordon, the fact that they couldn't put anything better on the field last night, than Kyler Gordon, and Herb Street was very empathetic towards him.
Is that the word of the day?
With his injuries, and kept saying what a good player he was. But that guy couldn't move. And, the fact that the Packers couldn't find that in the first 4 possessions of the second half, and that, 1 first down in 4 possessions. Like, yes, Caleb had to do everything right, but those 4 possessions, that's the inexcusable.
Caleb didn't even do everything right. He didn't.
In those last few drives.
Yeah, but even to start the second half, he didn't do everything
because, DJ Moore had a bad drop also, remember?
Yeah, but
DJ Moore had a great catch.
It's just it falls. Listen, this game falls on Matt LaFleur, the offense and special teams. Period.
I mean, you got to give some blame when the defense gives up 25 points in the fourth quarter.
The defense did everything they could. You got to understand.
You're saying they were just worn down. They held up as long as they could.
They were only going to hold up as long as they could. You just knew it. You knew eventually if the Packers couldn't get anything going in the third quarter that it was just a ticking time bomb. The defense is not good enough. When you can't get a pass rush rushing for, your corners aren't that great. Eventually, the Bears are going to be able to break through, and that's what happened. That they make plays. Caleb Williams.
When the Packers,
and you're saying that the defense isn't that good, like
right? But he's saying the personnel. He's not
the makeup of the defense is not that great. Remember, Edgerrin Cooper went down that game too. You talked about T.J. Edwards. Edgerrin Cooper was playing like a dog in that game, and he went out as well. So I'm just saying that's why I had to look at Neiman. What's his name? Strove.
Nick Neiman.
That's what I mean.
What did you guys think when the Bears scored? I thought it was too early. Like I I had faith
at the end of the game.
Yeah, I thought
we only had one timeout.
You thought it was
due
done?
to bad clock management.
With only the one timeout, which they took with, I think it was
44 seconds left without clocking the football.
They took that so early when you have 4 downs.
By that.
You can clock it.
I know, and
I thought the same thing as you. I mean, they were able to play. They spun off 11 plays. Like
right.
If you said, "Hey, the Packers are going to have 11 plays,"
by the way, the other thing, so they should have clocked it.
Yeah,
but when they had the 10-second runoff, I don't understand why they didn't clock it there.
You mean the play after?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that play, they didn't have their stuff together. If they'd clocked it right there with 22 or 21 seconds, I felt like they could have calmed it down a little bit there also. That felt a little panicky to me too, because you didn't need all 4 downs there, I didn't think. Right? And that's where the Bears did a great job, right? Because when you know you have 4 downs, which the Bears were going to be in 4-down territory the rest of the game, it's tough to stop a team when you know they have 4 downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sad, sorry.
Yeah. Palermo's picks coming up. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Break down all the lines, the locks, and the long shots with a weekly wager.
If anyone bets the Seahawks plus 375, they're crazy. In no way, shape, or form will Sam Darnold be holding up the Lombardi at the end of the year.
With Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
I think this is a Jordan Love performance. We're all started talking about it at the end of the day.
Tune in Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ben Brust here for Iron Jock. It's a new year, and that means new goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to those goals. Whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026, Iron Jock gear has you covered. Formulated to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, Iron Jock keeps you feeling fresh, no matter how hard you push. Right now, you can get 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use promo code ESPN30. That's ESPN30 for 30% off your orders over $75. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. Well, here we are. It's 2026. Remember last year when you said never again? Did it work? You didn't start your business to spend so much time doing bank reconciliations, cash flow projections, or inventory analysis. Let us help you keep your New Year resolution to stay on top of your finances and keep your books up to date. Don't do the same thing this year and expect different results. Start the year off on the right foot by calling the Neal Group to help you understand your numbers and make them better. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you can make 2026 the best year ever. The first meeting is free. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, it's Brian Balaga. Find the Homer Hour on the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You know what a lot of people do when they're feeling sad about a result of a game?
I know what I'll be doing.
Eating pizza.
That's correct.
Palermo's Pizza. So many different things to choose from. Hey, even the Bears fans know that Connie's Pizza is delicious. Good Chicago-style pizza. Stranger Things pizza. You're mourning the end of your favorite TV show.
Or is it?
Screaming Sicilian. Oh, is it over?
Huh? No, there's all these theories out there.
That was
going to be
January,
another final episode.
No,
right?
it was January 7th that supposedly the other episode. The theory was that January 7th there was going to be another episode, which there was not. That was those of us who were just desperate for more.
Did y'all see Craig? It's January 7th. That was your show, huh?
Yeah, that was my show, and it was just annoying because my whole algorithm was Stranger Things fans, and you knew it wasn't going to happen, and it was just like, I understand why people just wanted more, but it wasn't happening. But Palermo's, Screaming Sicilian, fantastic. We've been eating the Stranger Things pizza out of nostalgia and the amazing crust, but nothing goes better with football than Palermo's, and great employer based locally, manufacturing here, doing great things here. We love partnering with Palermo's. All right, Palermo's picks time, and there's only 2 things to pick today. Who is the Green Bay Packer head coach going to be next year, and how far are the Bears going? Kyle, we'll start with you. RK.
Yep, the Green Bay Packers head coach is going to be Matt LaFleur next season. Make or break year for Matt LaFleur, and the Chicago Bears will lose to the Philadelphia Eagles next week in Chicago.
Okay. I agree with the first one. I think Matt LaFleur will be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 2026.
Oh, my gosh. This kid's on the bandwagon now.
I'm not on the band. I said if it was up to me, he would not be.
You want him fired.
I'm talking about the band. You say you agree with the first one. You don't agree with the second one?
No, I just think they're going to lose to the Los Angeles Rams because the Eagles are going to lose to the Niners today.
Okay.
So you think then that would have the... You think they're going to lose to the Rams, so that means the Niners are going to Seattle for a rematch of that Week 18 game, and Bears lose at home to the Rams.
Correct.
So the Rams win their second straight road playoff game there.
Yes.
Greg?
I will say Matt LaFleur, and I will say that the Chicago Bears lose in the NFC Championship game.
2? Seattle?
You think Seattle's going to the Super Bowl?
I think the Seattle can go to the Super Bowl.
I do
absolutely.
too.
You didn't. That wasn't part of the question for our picks, in terms of who they're losing to. It was just.
I was just curious where your head was.
I mean, so if the Rams play Seattle, you think Seattle's beating the Rams?
I think either team would beat
the Bears.
I just think the NFC Championship. I think they end up winning the next game because they've just had that. Like, they're that team that just has found
the
way
nobody
all
believes
year,
in us team.
You know, and
the nobody believes in us team.
Yeah, there's like some similarities to what the Commanders did last year, right? Like, and I think they get there.
I mean, but remember last year, the Commanders got destroyed by the Eagles last year.
Yes.
I don't know. I when you see how well the Panthers played against the Rams yesterday, I think it's like all these games are a coin flip. Like,
I agree.
All of them.
I agree.
So I don't know. Like I don't know what, like, is there a team? You're a Patriots fan. You're from Boston. Is there a team that's not a coin flip team? Because the only one was supposed to be the Rams, favored by 10.
yeah.
Is there? I mean, are they?
No, there's a coin flip. No, because the team you would point to normally would be the Bills, right? This feels like the most open path that Josh Allen has to a Super Bowl, and their defense is awful.
I think they lose today.
Could.
I mean, they opened as favorites, and they're not anymore.
I think there's a good chance the winner of that game today represents the AFC.
I don't see Jacksonville getting there.
If they weren't the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think you would change the tune on that. If they were, say, the Denver Broncos, no,
there is value to having experience and having had.
I don't disagree, but they are good.
If the Bills lose today, I feel like their head coach could be in the same spot that Matt LaFleur's in, right?
Ooh, are you putting Matt LaFleur in Buffalo next year?
No, I don't think they couldn't bring in a coach who just did the same exact thing. Like, although offensive, what he would do with Josh Allen, that's what I'm saying. I think the Packers would be making a mistake.
Good therapy.
I'm surprised, though. I do not think Matt LaFleur's the stays as the head coach, but I think it is a mistake. Not Harbaugh.
Well, you asked who's going to be the head coach. You're not going to answer the question?
That's
John Harbaugh.
I thought you said Matt. Yeah, that's a tough one. There's so many guys that come out of nowhere.
I'm saying I would go with the field over anyone, but if I had to pick one name, I would pick Harbaugh. But not because I think it's
Stefanski?
No, hell no. Keep him away from
I think Stefanski is next stop will be good coach.
Stop, Greg, don't end this. Don't end this.
He beat the Packers. He beat the Packers this year.
And then proceeded to lose like 12, 13
So did Harbaugh.
games.
Harbaugh and Stefanski both beat the Packers this year.
I like I think Stefanski in the right spot could be a good coach also. He's with the two-time NFL Coach of the Year.
That award sucks.
You give it because the team is the team name.
Yeah.
All right.
This is good.
All right. Well, I will tell you that Precision Sports was incredible to work with. If you love hoops this time of year, they can build you your court indoor, outdoor. You want a basketball court at the house. They are incredible to work with. They do it all. The lines on the court. They have all the different systems you'd want. Mega Slam, Ironclad, the Dominator hoop system. I knew I wanted a great basketball court. I didn't know anything. They were fantastic. They do it all. Indoors, outdoors. They do everything start to finish. They make sure the court's lined right, and they do it all. So if you love basketball, you want that court in the house for the kids or yourself, go to precisionsportsonline.com. Get a free quote. That's precisionsportsonline.com. Keep it locked here to ESPN Wisconsin for all of your Packers repercussions after the premature end to the season. Stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.